Mic check 1 2. It's the Y2K collector, and I had a subscriber ask me to talk about people who copy the collections that they see on YouTube or try to mimic the collections that they might see their favorite YouTuber has, and I guess the impacts of that. And when I saw this request come through, the thing that came to my mind immediately was the concept of inspiration versus influence. There are a ton of YouTube channels that have inspired me to explore different genres and different systems that I never considered in the past just because I wasn't aware that certain games were available. And thanks to those channels, my mind's been opened. My gaming palette has been opened to different games that I just wasn't aware of. And I was inspired not only to explore the games that I saw on some of those channels, but also explore any other games that may have had either similar gameplay style, similar art style, similar music. It's really been an inspiration in that way. I can't say that anyone on YouTube has ever influenced me to go and buy a certain game because there are a ton of people on YouTube making videos about retro video games or video games in general, and if if you let YouTubers influence you, you'll wind up just spending yourself into the poorhouse. And that's something that I've never really found myself doing. Now, I do understand that there are people who are influenced or easily influenced out there and who will watch a YouTuber. They might watch a Metal Jesus Rocks or Radical Reggie or someone, people of that caliber and say, man, I want to have a collection the size of Metal Jesus Rocks. And once you start to want to be like another person, in my opinion, that's when it's no longer about the video games and it's more about some type of social acceptance or being looked at a certain way within the gaming community. And once we start going down that path, that's when we have to start looking at why we're doing what we're doing. What's the reason for buying the games that we're buying? Are you doing it because you really enjoy the games? Are you doing it because you want to be viewed a certain way by your friends? Are you doing it because you want to look a certain way on the internet? That's when you have to start having that internal dialogue with yourself to really understand that. Now, in my opinion, I feel like you have a lot of people on YouTube. You do have a lot of YouTubers who talk about retro games and chastise people who either A, have large collections, or B, have a lot of rare or expensive games. And here's my thing. As a YouTube retro game content creator, it's my prerogative to talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about. And the same goes for anyone out there who's making retro gaming or even just regular video game content. If you want to talk about sports games all day, that's your prerogative. If you want to talk about the rarest games all day, that's your prerogative. If you want to talk about only games that are worth $100 or more, that's your prerogative. There are no hard and fast rules on how video games should be discussed. But you have a lot of what I think are really insecure content creators who like to go out and convince people of what they should or shouldn't care about, or they'll try to tell people that dollar amounts don't care, that dollar amounts don't matter, or they shouldn't care about the value of a game and only about how fun a game is. Who are you to tell people what they should or shouldn't care about? And that's why I don't tell people what they should or shouldn't care about. I'll tell you what I care or don't care. Actually, I just tell you what I care about, because the things I don't care about, I don't discuss. Which is why every time I see a content creator talk about how they don't care about the dollar amount of video games, yet every other comment or every other video they make is talking about other YouTubers who focus on dollar amounts, that tells me that you actually do care about dollar amounts. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, maybe you're not able to make content talking about high dollar video games, or maybe you feel insecure in that way, and so you go on this campaign to try and influence people to either care or not care about certain things. But that's not what this should be about. At the end of the day, people are going to care about what they care about. People are going to care about fun games. People are going to care about expensive games. People are going to care about whatever it is they care about. And it's not my job as a YouTube content creator to tell you what to care about. It's not my job to tell you that this game is more important than this game, or you shouldn't care about this game because it's only $5, or that, cheap games don't matter. It's not my job to tell you about any of that. As far as I'm concerned, my job is to share my experience with you, period. Is to share the games that I purchase and what I like about them, period. Whether they be an expensive game, whether they be a cheap game, whether they be a popular game or a hidden gem, quote unquote. That's all I'm here to do. And then you, as the viewer, decide whether or not you're going to be inspired by my collection or inspired by my video to do more research into that game or that genre, or if you're just going to be influenced by my video and say, oh, Y2K just talked about this game, I'm going to go buy it. I would hope that the people who watch my videos are going with the former option, which is inspiration. My goal would be to inspire people to say, oh, shoot, you know what? I didn't even know that this game was available on the Super Nintendo. I didn't even know this game was available on the PlayStation Portable. Man, you know what? I wonder how many other games like this are available on the PlayStation Portable. You know what? I wonder if there's a cheaper version of this same game available on the PlayStation Portable. I wonder if there's a game that has the same gameplay style, maybe the same cover art, but that's $20 cheaper. Maybe it's a different story. Those are the types of thoughts that I would hope to spark by sharing or showcasing certain games that I have within my collection. It's not necessarily about saying, hey, guys, I've got Breath of Fire on the Super Nintendo. You need to go out and pick it up too. Otherwise, your collection means nothing. No, that's not what the content should be about. And I would hope that when you watch people talk about their collections, that's not, I think, the best way to look at it. I think we all share our pickups and we share our collections and we share what we have because for instance, for me, there are times in my collection or while I'm on my collecting journey where I feel like, man, I can't find anything, man. It sucks. Man, there's no deals out there. And then next thing you know, I look on Gamers Manual's channel and he'll show me how he picked up a bunch of super rare NES games from GameStop, and he'll remind me like, oh yeah, you know what, GameStop still does have retro games. Or like an Easy Gamers who will go to, I don't know, he'll find a flea market or a pawn shop and pick up a bunch of uncommon Switch stuff that I totally forgot that I didn't even realize were available on the Switch. And I'm like, oh shoot, Easy Gamers showed me that these games are available, man. And then it re-inspires you. It inspires you to go out and do your own research and get out there and hunt, right? It shouldn't influence you to jump on eBay and then go buy the game, right? At least that's not how I take it. So I think when it comes to just the YouTube collecting scene, or just whether it be on YouTube or Instagram or any type of social media, try your best to be inspired and not influenced. When you see someone highlight a certain game or showcase a certain game on their channel, or you see someone put up an Instagram post of a really rare game that you never heard of, do some research on that game. See if it's even a fun game to begin with. See if it's a game you'll like. See if it matches your gameplay style. I often forget how much fun I have with Axlay until I was streaming it on my channel the other day. I kept playing Axlay and I couldn't beat it. I kept getting to level 5 or 6, and man, I was just biting the dust. I am gonna beat this for you guys on live stream, but I do get pretty far in this game, and then I just can't seem to get over the hump. But I say all that to say that know what you like. Try your best to be inspired, get informed about the things that you might want to buy, and then make your own decision. Don't feel like you need to copy anyone's collection online. If it just so happens that you like the same exact stuff that they like, then, I mean, yeah, I can see how that makes sense. But I don't believe in swaying my viewers in either direction. I don't believe in telling you, oh, don't just focus on the valuable games, or don't just focus on dollar amounts, only focus on this. No, because there are people on my channel who do care about the dollar amounts. They care about how much a game costs. They want to buy games with value, and that's okay. That is okay. That's more than okay, as a matter of fact. If that's all you cared about, that is your prerogative. No one can tell you how to collect or what you should or shouldn't do. I feel like a lot of that stuff just comes from a place of insecurity to me personally. Like people that just come, that's what I feel off of that. You know how many collections I see on YouTube that are just out of this world, like crazy? Like think about like a gamer aimer and how big her collection is. Think about like a Mort's Garage. Dude, look at Mort's Garage. It's like I don't have a collection anywhere near Mort's Garage, but I'm not gonna look at a Mort's Garage video and say, oh man, all this guy cares about is just, having a ton of games in his collection. So what if that's what he wants? That's his prerogative, dude. It doesn't make him any less of a contributing member to the retro gaming community as anyone else. I think just people get hung up on their own points of view, and then they try to build these online campaigns telling people what they should or shouldn't care about. Focus on you, figure out what it is you like, and then do what the heck you want to do. Buy the games that you want to buy them in the condition that you want to buy them. I would love to have all my Super Nintendo games complete in box, but you know what? I don't have that kind of budget. I don't have a complete in box SNES budget. So however I can find them, I'm going to collect them, but that's me. But that doesn't mean that there isn't other collectors out there. When you go to their channel, when you look at their wall, all of their Super Nintendo games are complete in box. Does that make me turn around and make a video and say, okay, guys, I want to talk about people who collect complete in box Super Nintendo games and how stupid it is? No, that's dumb. You look like a hater, bro. That's what you look like. You look like a hater when you make videos like that. Watch YouTube. If you see a collection that inspires you, be inspired, do your research, find the games that you like, find the games that you want to buy, and then go buy them. That's it. Do what you want to do. Don't let anyone influence you to make bad decisions, but be inspired to do your own research and find the games you like and enjoy, man. Because listen, at the end of the day, it's just video games.